The movie begins in Mexico, where Alex Lewis arrives at a hospital parking lot, dressed in blue scrubs, blending in like just another staff member. Inside, a fast car pulls up, and two men step out. One, carrying flowers, heads inside to visit his mother. Once in the room, he asks for privacy, and Alex obliges. However, the situation quickly turns sinister when Alex suddenly wraps a wire around the man's neck, killing him instantly. Blood splatters everywhere, and the man's helpless mother watches in horror from her bed as her son dies right in front of her. After completing the hit, Alex returns to his car and texts his handlers to confirm the job is done. As he reaches for his keys in the car's visor, he realizes they're missing. Panic sets in as he checks his pockets, but he eventually finds the key, leaving him visibly shaken. Meanwhile, in El Paso, Texas, undercover FBI agent Vincent Serra meets with a man named Leon, who's pimping out his own daughter, Beatrice. Vincent tries to talk to Beatrice without engaging in anything inappropriate, but she quickly realizes he's wearing a wire. Things escalate rapidly as Vincent and Leon struggle over a gun. When the FBI agents rush in, Leon grabs his daughter and holds a gun to her head. Vincent tries to calm him down, but Leon, desperate to avoid prison, threatens to kill Beatrice. In a bold move, Beatrice bites her father, giving Vincent the opportunity to disarm him. They fall out of a second-story window, resulting in Leon's death, leaving Beatrice traumatized and furious. Back in Mexico City, Alex meets with Mauricio to receive details of his next job, which takes him to El Paso. Though Alex isn't feeling well, he hides his condition, knowing it could be a death sentence if discovered. He hints at wanting to retire, but Mauricio warns that the bosses won't allow it. Alex notices the high payout for this assignment, and Mauricio explains it's because there are two targets this time. When Mauricio mentions Alex's brother in El Paso, Alex senses a subtle threat. Despite his unease, Alex remains calm and asks if he's being watched, to which Mauricio cryptically advises him to forget about quitting, reminding him that information is power. Alex drives to El Paso, checking into a hotel under the alias David Marshall. In the hotel bar, a middleman hands Alex a briefcase containing details of his targets and urges him to act swiftly. Back in his room, Alex assembles a silenced pistol and reviews intel on his first target, Ellis Vance. Meanwhile, Vincent visits Beatrice at a detention center. She's still angry with him over her father's death, but Vincent tries to explain that her father's actions were wrong. He promises to help her get a special visa to come to the US, offering her a sketchbook and pencils as a small gesture of comfort. Alex infiltrates Ellis Van Camp's home office, demanding flash drives. When Ellis's daughter interrupts, Alex restrains him until she leaves. Once alone, Alex kills Ellis, takes the flash drives, and departs. Meanwhile, the middleman, relaxing by a pool, receives a text from Alex confirming the successful hit. Vincent and his partner Linda investigate Ellis Van Camp's murder at his home. Vincent speaks with Ellis's wife, Wendy, who didn't contact local police. She suspects the death was due to a robbery, pointing to the open safe as evidence. Vincent's boss, Noble, arrives with bad news: the task force is being dissolved, and Hugo, a loaned agent from Mexico, is returning home. Vincent protests, concerned about their witness, Beatrice, but Noble insists they focus solely on the Van Camp murder. If Vincent wants to help Beatrice secure her visa, he must prioritize the case. Reluctantly, Vincent agrees. Despite his frustrations, Alex follows Vincent as he drives Beatrice to her new group home. After Vincent settles her in, Alex breaks into the group home that night. He finds Beatrice's room and shines a light on her face, startling her awake. Seeing her drawings, Alex realizes she's just a child. Terrified, Beatrice pleads for her life, promising to stay silent. Horrified by what he's about to do, Alex quickly leaves. Later, Alex meets with the middleman but unexpectedly attacks him. Furious after realizing one of his targets was a child, Alex declares he won't continue the job. The middleman insists Alex must finish what he started, threatening to report him to their superiors in Mexico. Alex refuses. The middleman then contacts Deanna, informing her that Alex knows about the flash drives and Beatrice and wants to protect her. Meanwhile, in a hotel room, Alex and Maya are together when Alex suddenly convulses and collapses. Maya, thinking he's having a bad reaction to something, tries to console him, but Alex fears it's something far more serious. The next morning, Vincent arrives at the group home, only to find it turned into a crime scene. Beatrice, the young girl he had sworn to protect, has been brutally murdered. Vincent is left devastated and consumed with guilt. Alex, hearing about Beatrice's death, fears he might be connected to it. He asks Maya if they were together all night, and she reassures him. However, wanting to protect her from his dangerous life, Alex abruptly decides to leave, telling Maya to forget they ever met. Confused and hurt, she watches him go. As Hugo prepares to return to Mexico, he's blindsided by the news of Beatrice's murder and realizes the stakes are much higher than just his assignment, so he decides to stay. Meanwhile, Alex heads to his car but senses something is wrong. His instincts prove right, there's a bomb under the car. Just as he discovers it, Mauricio launches an ambush, firing at Alex. Amid the chaos, Maya unexpectedly shows up, reminding Alex about his medication. The moment turns tragic when Mauricio shoots Maya in the throat, killing her right in front of Alex. Overcome with rage and grief, Alex fights back, eventually knocking Mauricio out. Gently placing Maya's body in the trunk, Alex straps Mauricio into the driver's seat. Despite Mauricio's taunts about their bosses coming after Alex, he bids him a sarcastic farewell and kills him in a fiery explosion. Vincent later meets with Moa to discuss the car bombing, both suspecting it's linked to the recent string of crimes. Moa promises to keep Vincent updated as they gather more intel. That evening, Hugo meets Vincent at a local bar, where he admits he couldn't leave because he, Linda, and Vincent were the only ones who truly cared about Beatrice. Hugo insists he can get things done in ways Vincent and Linda can't, operating as a concerned citizen rather than a government agent. Vincent knows Noble won't approve of Hugo's methods, but Hugo clarifies that he doesn't answer to Noble. Seeing the value in working together, Vincent agrees to team up with Hugo, despite the risks. In a dimly lit gym, Borden is working up a sweat on a treadmill when headlights suddenly pierce through the rainy night. A car pulls up, and Alex steps out, gun in hand, ready for revenge. Without hesitation, a shot rings out, and Borden collapses to the ground. Seeking refuge, Alex slips into the basement of an old bakery, where he examines a flash drive on a laptop. The first video shows a tense conversation between Ellis Van Camp and Deanna, filled with veiled threats. But it's the second drive that truly sickens Alex, disturbing images and videos of Deanna and her son Randy sexually assaulting Beatrice. Alex finally understands the real motive behind his mission, filling him with intense disgust and rage. The next morning, a panicked Randy rushes into his mother Deanna's office. However, Deanna remains unnervingly calm and instructs him to leave El Paso immediately. She has already arranged his escape. Randy will attend a party and then take the company jet to Geneva, Switzerland, where he'll enter rehab to cover up his problems. Meanwhile, at the FBI office, Vincent receives a call from Alex, who reveals that powerful men, including Van Camp and Borden, were involved in harming Beatrice. Although Alex denies killing Beatrice, he insists that those responsible must be brought to justice. Randy is hosting a lavish party on a private yacht, completely unaware that Linda, Hugo, and Vincent are secretly watching. As the night progresses, Randy retreats below deck and pressures a waitress to join him. Things take a dark turn as Randy becomes more aggressive, urging the terrified waitress to undress. But just as she heads to the bathroom, Alex suddenly appears, covering her mouth and instructing her to lock the door. She silently complies. Meanwhile, Randy, completely oblivious to the danger, lies naked on the bed. Alex moves in, places a pillow over Randy's head, and fires 2 shots, killing him instantly. Vincent and Linda discover Randy's body shortly after. Vincent rushes onto the deck, spotting Alex trying to make his escape. Gun drawn, it leads to a tense standoff. Despite Vincent's attempts to calm the situation, Hugo fires at Alex as he speeds away, injuring him. Though Alex still manages to escape. Wounded and desperate, Alex makes his way back into town. Vincent updates Noble on the situation, revealing Deanna's devastation over Randy's death and identifying Alex as the prime suspect. In a desperate moment, Alex passes out in a stolen Jeep but is startled awake by a motorcycle cop. Panicking, Alex accidentally shoots the officer dead and takes refuge in a bakery to tend to his wounds. The next morning, Linda and Vincent learn about the cop's death and suspect Alex. Meanwhile, Hugo searches the bakery but fails to find Alex, who is hiding in the basement, frantically reassembling his gun. With the bakery now their only lead, Linda connects pigeon droppings found in Alex's stolen Jeep to the location. Vincent's team returns to the bakery, narrowly missing Alex as he escapes. Detective Moa is stationed at a building where Deanna is under police protection, but a well-timed distraction allows Alex to slip in, taking an officer hostage as he makes his way to Deanna. A shootout ensues, and Alex barely manages to evade capture, escaping to the roof and using a window cleaner's rig to access Deanna and Moa. He knocks out Moa but finds himself unable to shoot Deanna when his gun malfunctions. Moa regains consciousness and subdues Alex before he can make another move. At the bakery, Linda uncovers a key piece of evidence: the firing pin from Alex's gun is missing. Meanwhile, Alex, now in custody, demands to speak only with Vincent, but Moa refuses. Vincent later receives a flash drive in the mail containing incriminating videos that implicate Randy. Despite this, Vincent's request to move Alex to FBI custody is denied by his boss. Alex, beaten and bruised, ends up in the hospital, determined to get justice against Deanna for hiring him to kill Ellis and Beatrice. He provides a statement, but Vincent doubts it will have much impact given Alex's condition and the powerful people involved. Alex recalls a phone call that could incriminate Deanna, but can't remember where it happened. Vincent presents the evidence to his boss, who remains skeptical. Dr. Mayer sneaks into the hospital to kill Alex, but Alex turns the tables and attacks him. El Paso SWAT is called in, and Vincent rushes to the scene, but Alex insists on speaking only to him. Alex tricks Dr. Mayer into switching clothes, leading a sniper to mistakenly shoot the doctor. Alex then jumps into Vincent's SUV, warning him that Deanna sent the doctor to kill him and might target Vincent next. Realizing his time is running out, Alex drops his gun and steps out of the vehicle, only to be gunned down by SWAT. At the same time, Deanna is killed in her mansion, ending her reign of terror. Back at the bar, Linda subtly hints that she helped provide Vincent with an alibi. Later, in the desert, Hugo disposes of incriminating evidence, having completed Alex's mission by taking out Deanna. With his task finished, Hugo drives off into the night, heading back to Mexico as the film comes to a close.